Hello everybody and welcome to the video. My name is Brandon and today we're going to be looking at three stocks to buy going into the month of August. Now keep in mind guys, as always, this is not financial advice. Always be sure to speak to an advisor or some sort of professional before making any big financial decisions for yourself. So the first stock that we're going to be talking about today is PayPal, ticker PYPL. And PayPal, along with Visa, MasterCard, Square, pretty much the entire payment processing industry, in my opinion, is poised for some pretty great growth. PayPal, as I'm sure you know, is one of the leaders in the online digital transaction space. They facilitate, the sending of money from peer to peer, but more importantly, businesses and merchants all over the world use PayPal as one of their main payment methods. And to keep things very simple, we look at the landscape for, commerce or retail going forward. Newsflash guys, it's shifting online. It's been shifting online. E-commerce and Shopify, ClickFunnels, that is the way of the future. And over the years, PayPal has really etched itself as this trusted payment method for a lot of these transactions. One of the key numbers that sticks out to me is the fact that something like 70 to 80% of the world's transactions are still done in cash. And I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. We have to think about all of the emerging markets and these third world countries. That's just the reality of it. And I've mentioned this in other videos, but as time goes on and technology advances, it's only going to become more and more popular for these transactions to be done digitally, which represents an outstanding opportunity for the entire industry going forward. And one of the big benefits that I see with PayPal is the fact that there's very little risk involved in its business model. This isn't a company that's highly leveraged. They're not going out and building a bunch of factories or taking on a bunch of debt. They're just chilling, man. They're sitting back and collecting fees on all these transactions. And as the field grows, you would expect that to continue. The one thing that we do have to keep in mind is that the company does face some competition. We think of something even as new as Apple Pay, right? Which is becoming more and more popular. Over in Asia, there's Alipay and WePay, which are so dominant over there. So, you have questions regarding, the penetration of the Asian markets. Sure. That being said, guys, PayPal is still a relatively small player in this very fastly growing industry. I do still think that the growth opportunity here is very strong. The stock is currently trading for $87. It does not pay a dividend, but PayPal is my first stock to buy in August. Now, the second stock that we're going to be talking about today is Apple, ticker AAPL. And I know you guys are probably sick and tired about hearing about the FANG stocks, but this is potentially going to be the first company to ever reach $1 trillion market cap. We have Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor of all time. This is currently his largest position in his Berkshire portfolio. And keep in mind, this is a guy who has traditionally never liked tech stocks. Apple is Apple. The company is no longer reliant on strictly iPhone sales. Sure, this is still the biggest component of their revenues, but as I touched on earlier, we think of their new services like Apple Pay, Apple Music. This services segment just generated them $9 billion in their most recent quarter, representing a year-over-year growth of 31%. And I recently read an article saying that management is expecting that by 2020, they're expecting that this services segment is going to be generating the company, somewhere along the lines of around $50 billion. And we keep in mind, guys, that for the most part, this is recurring revenue with the subscriptions and whatnot, which is just absolutely killer. They continue to build up their Apple ecosystem, which really just, strengthens, their switching costs, the brand loyalty. I know myself, I have the Apple Watch, I have, my MacBook, iPhone, I even have an Apple TV, and they're all connected, they're all intertwined, and Apple has done such a great job at tying in their customer base with all the products in their ecosystem. As of earlier this year, the company has over $280 billion sitting in cash, a lot of it overseas, and of course, guys, with the new tax reform, this allows the company to start bringing this money back overseas, repatriating this money at a much lower rate. At the end of the day, as I always like to say, I invest in stocks because I like or I believe in the underlying company. And throughout my lifetime, my 23 years on this planet, Apple has probably been one of the most successful, if not the most successful company in terms of really, capturing our generation. And I want to take part of that as an investor. The stock currently trades for around $190 USD. It pays a 1.3% dividend. It's just an amazing company to own, and that's why Apple is my second stock to buy in August. Now, moving on to the final stock for this video, it's a classic, Coca Cola, ticker KO. And Coca Cola was actually the first stock that I ever purchased. We think back to when I was 16, using the help of my dad, I had a little, in trust for a custodial account. And Coca Cola, in my opinion, is a stock that deserves a spot in any investor's portfolio. This is one of the most recognizable brands in the world. Over 1.9 billion Coca Cola products are consumed daily. All right, 1.9 billion servings of Coca Cola products each and every day. This is a company that sells products all over the world. About 80% of their unit case volumes are sold outside of the US, so you're getting a very strong level of international exposure. This is just one of the most quality stocks that you can own. That being said, over the past number of years, over the past decade or so, there has definitely been a declining trend in, the consumption of sugary beverages. We think of all these, CrossFitters and vegans, all these, healthy people that they're not drinking Coke, right? They're sticking to those, nasty healthy drinks. So there's definitely been a declining trend working against Coca-Cola, but we take a look here at their product line. I mean, over the years, adding brands like Fuse Tea, Smart Water, of course, they own Dasani and their diet products. They've just done an outstanding job of adapting to this changing environment. One of the things that makes Coca-Cola such a great investment is just this wide moat that the company's developed over the years. I mean, with a company like Coke, just due to their sheer size, the company's able to acquire, raw materials at a cheaper cost. Their distribution network is just next level. The term that you'll hear for this is economies of scale. The company currently pays a 3.3% dividend. They've actually increased their annual dividend for 56 consecutive years. The stock is currently trading for around $45 USD, and Coca-Cola is the third stock to buy in August. So guys, thank you for watching the quick video. I decided to keep this one relatively short today. Like I said, I'm just going to be mixing them up with some short ones, some longer ones, and I really would appreciate it if you guys let me know in the comments below whether you like the shorter videos or the longer videos, because I can very easily, go a little more in depth with these stocks, but today I just went kind of with a quick overview. So if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like, and let me know, what is your favorite stock out of the 3 stocks that we talked about today, or none of them if you don't like any of these stocks. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, subscribe and hit that little bell so that you'll get notified when I make a post, but I post every Monday. So as always, guys, I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you in the next video.